So this group gets together and they find out Veer is trying to buy his parents a crib. As Veer's parents are driving down the streets of Miami to look for houses, this group, boom, crashes into Veer's parents.
Hello guys, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, the reaction channel. Today we're going to be looking at the teens who stole over this amount of much money. I don't know what he's done, but you know, this just popped up on my page, so I had to look at it. Too hype to ignore, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, if you haven't done already, subscribe, share with your friends. Do whatever you want with this video. Just make sure that you spread my name across the internet. Let's get right into it because I am actually interested to see how he got this amount of money. So let's get going.
I want you to meet Malone Lamb. See, in this picture, he's celebrating because him and his friends just got done stealing $200 million. But him and his friends had a problem because after they stole that $200 million, him and his friends went straight to the club, went straight to the dealership,
What's up with y'all? No, I know this is I know you're happy that you stole over $200 million or whatever money you did, but why every time when you see videos or real life crime stuff, they go back to doing something that would put them out in the open? I'm just saying here because is it like a common pattern?
Straight to Louis Vuitton, them boys started blowing that cash, which as you can imagine got them some unwanted attention. But before we get into that, I know what you're wondering. How did they get all this money in the first place? Well, you see, one day or night, I don't know, I wasn't there, Malone checked his pockets. He said, oh, I'm broke. So he decided to get a job. The job title was scammer. Malone then finds other people in a chat room that want to scam like him, and they form a scam group. Real quick, I want you to take a look at how old they are. Now you could probably understand why they went straight to the club as soon as they...
Oh. Okay. It still doesn't make sense to me, though.
They got a bunch of money. But again, we're before they got a bunch of money, okay? So they meet up in a chat room. Malone said, look, I'm trying to shine like the rappers in them. Take pictures. Smile for the camera like Uzi and them with the handbag. Who with me? His fellow scammers, Veer and Jondell, remember those names, said, yes, let's do it. Oh, and they did it. Them boys got good fast. And what they were doing was they were stealing cryptocurrency from rich people. And when I say...
Yeah, I mean, that's a common thing too. But, there's a bunch of other people who created currency. What's it called? Some rich people go into the currency business or whatever it's called. I think Logan Paul did it one time. I'm not sure if that's a true fact, but I think I think I watched a video based on him doing that. I don't know if he did it, but besides the point, there's some rich people out there who've done what you call currency scamming. It's basically exactly what it sounds like. You know how you would sell a car and you would tell the car is good, sooner or later something's wrong with the engine and it caused them to get $1,000, not $1,000, but they have to pay $1,000 just for towing. Then they got to pay another $1,000 for the fixing. I think that engine is worth more than $1,000 though. Depending on what car you get, though, I'm just saying in my head, this don't make sense to me to do cryptocurrency scamming because that's just a waste of my time. Plus, you're gonna get in legal trouble, and then. Yeah, you're going to get in legal. For everything you do, you're going to get in legal trouble. But
stealing, I mean a couple $100,000 here, a couple million there. And here's where it starts to get wicked. As they're stealing money from these rich people, one day they find somebody who's super rich. They don't know how rich this person is just yet, but they know they're rich. So they decide to do their usual scam. They get this rich person's email information and they start, let's say, spamming this email so it looks like it's getting hacked, right? So this rich person is getting alerts like, oh man, somebody looks like they're trying to log into your account. The rich person freaks out a little bit. But as this rich person, let's call them Richie. As Richie, the rich person, Richie is freaking out, he gets a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. It's from one of the boys. It's from one of the scammers. They said, hey, this is Google. It looks like your email is getting hacked. So why don't you, Richie, give us your email and password so we can log on and figure out what's going on for you.
Wait, did they do it like did oh wait, did he call them? Man, I'm not paying attention. I need to lock in. Hold on. Okay, so basically this is what happening. I'm doing a recall for the sake of my brain doing amnesia on me, doing circles, laps around my head. So basically he's saying that they call him up, well, first they spam his phone to call him up so they can get the money due to that. So basically it's like, do Google ever give y'all calls? I'm just curious because I did have like an email overload, but they never really called my phone or messaged my phone. I'm not sure if Google still does that. It probably still does, or I'm just tripping and never had that before. Probably that. So
She
let's just
said, my
continue.
email and
Let's continue.
password. What you need that for? They said, to calibrate the email.
Whoa, what's that? I just built a
My bad. Ads. I don't like ads.
budgeting app with Base 44. Guys, Nina just
You guys are Google, so you guys know what you're talking about. Here's my email and password. Richie gives them his email password. But that's not enough. They also need Richie's two-factor authentication code, okay? But it's a little suspicious if you're asking for all this information. So Google, the scammers, they hang up. Richie gets another call. Ring, ring, ring. Richie said, hello? It's the scammers again. But this time they're saying, oh, we're a cybersecurity company. We work adjacent with Google here and there. It looks like your account was getting spammed and all. Richie said, that's what I was telling Google. They said, yeah, we know. So we need your two-factor authentication code, Richie. Richie said, my two-factor authentication code? What you need that for? They said, to fix your stuff? Richie said, you guys are a security company. That makes sense. Here's my two-factor authentication code. Richie gives them the two-factor authentication code, but it's not enough. Malone,
What?
Veer, and Jean De-
What you mean that's not enough? Okay, so hold on. So you're telling me that this guy has okay, so you got password, email, two identify I know identification code has to be either your not password, you already did password, has to be like your ID, um, passport, or you know, it's got to be those kind of stuff. But what you mean is not enough. That's what I'm not trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out
are
here.
getting closer and closer. They find out through his emails, oh, he has a bunch of crypto accounts. They said, perfect. But now they need the login and passwords for that. So they said, well, Richie kind of stupid. So let's just try calling them again. Ring, ring, ring. They said, Richie. Richie said, what's good, cybersecurity company? They said, we need you to download this app on your computer called AnyDesk. What AnyDesk lets you do is it lets you see what somebody's doing on their computer. Richie said, why y'all need me to do? They said, Richie, just do it. Richie said, all right, I'll do it.
Got it.
He downloads AnyDesk. They start watching Richie log into his crypto bank account. These scammers said, oh, Richie ain't real. They watching Richie type in his email password, and the boys, Malone.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of Bitcoins. But to be honest with you, the rich person was kind of stupid though. He didn't ask like good questions. Because you see me, if something's wrong with my account and stuff like that, I'm gonna call Google or the people who's responsible, or you know what I mean. Like it wouldn't be right for someone to like if my account got hacked, or if my account even got like hacked, I would call my bank and tell them something's wrong because I live close to the bank and I can go over there and talk to the people on the desk and boom, we get it fixed. And I don't have to go through the whole stuff that whatever the rich man's going through. But since this man did not answer, or not answer, but didn't even give the right, didn't even ask any questions about what's going on. He didn't even check for himself what's going on, or even go to his bank or call Gmail or no Google directly, cybersecurity directly. I feel like something is actually going on with just the thought of just giving codes to some rando. They should already have the codes to begin with. Am I bugging here, or is you know what I'm saying?
Veer, Jean Del, and them see this. $240 million in crypto. Them boys said, God. Richie said, huh? They said, we so sad that you getting hacked. So we trying to save you. Richie said, okay, appreciate y'all. Y'all got all my information that I typed down and all that. They said, oh, we gonna hang up, Richie. Y'all have a nice day. Richie said, I'm good. They said, we good. Richie said, we good. They said, we good. Them boys hang up and they take everything Richie got. They log in with the information that they saw Richie log in with. They take all his money. Now, how do I know all of this information? Well, you see, Malone.
I mean, they got caught. I mean, like you wouldn't be making this video if they didn't get, oh, 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 I'm very sorry for putting my face as the first thing you see in blocking the screen. I'm very sorry. But no, duh, you're gonna be like, the only reason you know about this is because they got caught. They got caught lacking. So yeah, that's the only reason you know about this.
Veer Jandel decided to record themselves doing all this.
What's up with the recording stuff? Like I remember watching another YouTuber. They were talking about not talking about, they were reacting to murder cases, and there were two teenage boys who killed one of their best friend, and they recorded themselves before and after they were done with whoever, and they got sentenced for life because they killed the person and they recorded it too, which was dumb. But at the same time, I feel glad that they did that because they're in jail now. Is that wrong for me to say? No, because they were sickos and they were in high school too. So you got to be careful.
After they take all of Richie's money, them boys was celebrating. Then they said, you know what? This is what we got to do, though. We got to think smart. We have to take all this money and bring it to a bunch of other little accounts so it's untraceable. That's what they do. Then they decide, you know what else we got to do? We got to lay low, because usually when a heist happens, the criminals can't just spend the money immediately. We got to give it a few weeks. But after we go to the club, of course, because we got to celebrate. So the boys decide to go to the club. They spend $50,000. They spend $20,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him continue.
$100,000 on bottles. They see famous girls in the club. They see Instagram girls at the club. They just hand them out Birkin bags. They say, here you go, Birkin bag for you, Birkin bag for you. And it's at this point they looked at each other and said, how could I lay low with all this jewelry on me? They buy cars, they buy houses. And it's at this point they attract the wrong kind of attention. Another group of crypto scammers looked at each other and they started hating. They said, damn, them boys Malone and them getting a whole lot of money. So this group gets together and they find out Veer is trying to buy his parents a crib. As Veer's parents are driving down the streets of Miami to look for houses, this group, boom, crashes into Veer's parents. See, this group's plan is...
Oh, what the world? I thought this was just gonna be like, you know what I mean? I thought this was just gonna be crypto scammers. They hacked into the rich guys. They spent all their money the next day or the same day, and they get caught by the police. I didn't know scammers were having a war among scammers. You know what I mean? I never thought that would happen, but looks like it's happening.
To take Veer's parents hostage so Veer can pay ransom for them, right? As Veer's parents are disoriented because they just got into a crash, some other members of this group pull up in a van, take Veer's parents, throw them in the car, drive away. But the problem is they were doing this in broad daylight. So a cop sees them.
Yeah, of course.
Cop chases them down. This group swerves, they crash again. The cops surround them, they arrest these guys. Now, here's something I want you to understand. Anytime something sounds like it's coming out of a movie, the FBI will always try to figure out where the camera's at. If a group of people try to pull off a crazy abduction in broad daylight, the FBI are going to be the first people to ask why. But even before this, if a group of random teenagers is buying private jets, houses, cars, making massive transactions, the FBI is going to say, I've never heard of you before.
Yeah, and the thing is with this is that they spend it on the same day. You know how stupid it is if you go steal something and then you show it off to anybody the same day? That's stupid, but yet again, You know what I mean? I have nothing to say about it. It happened.
I never seen your parents. You some kind of prince, some kind of king? No. Oh, you was some random dude a few weeks ago, all of a sudden? You blowing a bag like this? So the FBI been watching them, but even worse, they caught the attention of a man named Zach XBT, an underground crypto investigator who never shows his face, but loves solving crypto-based crimes.
Oh, so he's one of those um he's one of those secret, not secretive types, but like a secret hero. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he finna get them boys.
In fact, the moment Veer, Jandel, and Malone stole this $240 million, Zach XBT immediately got an alert. He saw so much money moving around. Zach said, well, a case worthy of my talents. Zach calls Richie, the person who lost all this money. Remember him, the stupid one? Zach said, hello, would you like me to get your money back? Richie said, you one of them scamming people? Zach said, do I sound like one of them scamming people? Richie said, kinda, but I already came this far. What you need me to do? Zach said, hire me so I can get your money back. Richie hires Zach. Zach decides to hunt down Malone, Veer, Jandel. In fact, Zach is the one who got the video recording of Malone, Veer, and Jandel recording themselves stealing the money.
Which is stupid. That just feels stupid. Y'all gotta understand, why would you take pictures, record, or do anything on the web, and there's going to be guys like the hack hero, whatever his name is, and he's going to start hacking. He's going to start looking at your stuff. He's going to hack everything that gives evidence to you and put you in jail for life, which doesn't make. Okay, which doesn't make any sense because it's just stupid. They should have just stuck with their plan, but yet again, we just have dumb people in this world. And I like, what you want me to say about this?
They names was in the video. Them folk calling each other by.
And they put their names in the video. That just makes it more worse.
And then they said, Veer, look at how much money we got. Malone Lamb, look how much money we got. Zach said, you can't make this up. Ding, ding, ding. Zach gets in touch with the FBI. He starts helping the FBI out, giving them the video, giving them all the information. The FBI said, appreciate you. And then, well, the FBI does their thing. The oldest FBI trick in the book. Catch one, make them squeal. Now,
yeah, that's actually police's, like, if they're ever interrogating, I feel like that's their go-to.
They didn't say exactly who they caught, but people believe it was Jandel first. The FBI brings Jandel in. They said, Jandel. Jandel said, okay, his name is Veer. The other dude's name is Malone Lamb. Yeah, my name is Jandel. We did it, officer. They said, damn, we didn't even ask you a question. When Veer saw all this snitching, he decided to turn himself in. He went to the FBI. He said, Malone Lamb. Jandel, he started telling too. The FBI said, damn. This is an open and shut case, ain't it? So they decided to let Veer go out on bail. But I'm not even going to change the picture because I want to show you how fast Veer went back to jail. Veer leaves on bail. He steals $200,000 scamming again. He gambles the $200,000 and loses it all in 40 minutes. The FBI call him up. They said, we saw what you did. Put your hands behind your back. Veer said, y'all not even here. We on the phone. They said, arrest yourself. We're going to come pick you up because you stupid. He said, all right. They lock Veer up. And as for Malone, they labeled him as the ringleader, which Malone denies. Malone is basically saying he was just following orders. He not like the ringleader and all that. If you're the ringleader, you get in the most time. So Malone decides he's going to trial, and his trial hasn't started yet, so we have to wait and see what happens. But since there's so much evidence against Malone, Veer, and Jandel, they most likely will be spending most of their adult.
Goodness gracious. And the thing is about it that doesn't get me is, why record this? Like, you're going to get in trouble. Like, we live in a world where technology is at its finest. And whatever we do literally goes through the cameras, text messages, anything that has to do with electronics or electric or phones, computers. It just goes straight to the people who are able to survey these cameras, phones, and like just basically everything that has to do with a microphone and recording. Like that's basically what is gonna, or the people up there is gonna do. But it is what it is, and we can't make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the video. The lesson is don't do crypto hacking or don't be scammers. You know what I'm saying? You could be put in for life. But that's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching. Uh, See you in the next video, and peace.